Hi, this is Scott Gietler from Bluewater Photo, and today we are going to take a look at the Olympus TG-4 camera and the Olympus TG-4 housing. This is a very popular setup for a beginner underwater photographer, and one that we highly recommend at its price point, and let me explain why. I'm going to start with this camera. This small Olympus TG-4 camera is actually quite powerful. It has 16 megapixels. It has a 25 to 100 millimeter lens. Unlike the TG-3, this camera can now shoot in RAW. You have control over most things about the camera, although you do not have full manual control of the setting, so that's a small negative, but the camera is only $299, so at its price point, this is a very capable camera. It's freeze-proof, shock-proof. You can drop it a little bit. You can take it snorkeling, and the camera is fine. So it's great all-weather, get-it-wet kind of camera. Although we do recommend using the underwater housing when scuba diving for a number of reasons. This camera also has a very fast lens. It has a maximum aperture of f2.0, which is really nice for video and ambient light shots. And it also has very good built-in macro capability. To utilize that macro capability, you do have to get very close to the subject, which depending on the subject can be good or bad. But if you are able to get extremely close to the subject, it can take very, very small, tiny photos, which is nice. I'd say the main cons of this setup is that it is a compact camera, which means that it's a little slow focusing. It's not going to be as speedy as like a mirrorless camera or an RX100, so you may feel a little frustration if you're trying to shoot fish photos or behavior or things like that. And I already had mentioned the lack of full manual controls. If you are looking for a compact setup, this camera and housing together run about $600, which at its price point is definitely the top choice. If you want to move up to like a G16 camera, Canon G16, which has better macro capability, that and the fantasy housing, you're looking at about $800. And if you want to move up to a faster focusing camera with a larger sensor and really great wide-angle capability, you're looking at about $999 for the Sony RX100 camera with the Rexy CW housing for the RX100. So you have a couple more price points in there if you want to spend a little more and get a better small setup. Let's look at the housing. This is really well-built housing. Again, it's for $299. It's a great value. It's very easy to open up. You have a really nice O-ring. It's easy to close, and it's locked. It comes with a little shade here, a mount to put a video light or a focus light, and everything works really nicely. We almost never get complaints or issues from these housings, which is really nice. So. I highly recommend the combo, and let me talk about a few add-ons you may want to consider. The UWL-04 fisheye lens that we sell goes on the outside of the housing, and it will give you exceptional ultra-wide angle photos. So if you want to do schools of fish, whale sharks, reef scenes, I highly recommend you consider adding on that fisheye lens. If you want to be able to shoot macro and not have to be a millimeter from the subject and have a little more room, I'd highly recommend getting the Bluewater +7 macro lens, which will give you some really nice macro capability and will allow you to zoom the camera all the way in, which allows you to back away for the subject a little more and light it. For strobes, the CNC-YS-03 strobe package is a complete bargain at its price point. It's like $299, and it comes with, or $330. It comes with a tray, a flex arm, and it's a very capable strobe. If you want to move up in functionality, the YS-01 or the YS-D2 strobe are much more powerful and definitely worth a look. Another thing you may want to consider adding on for ambient light is a red filter, which is also really useful for video when you're not going to be getting very close to the subject. In fact, if you're not using a strobe or video light close up, the red filter is always very helpful. So I would recommend one of those. And last but not least, this camera can take very capable video. And if you want to get a good video light, the iTorch V10 1000 lumen video light is only about $130. The Solar 2500 lumen video light is a very high-end, top-of-the-line, strong video light that's on special for around $379. And if you really want maximum video output, the iTorch Venom 3800 lumen video light is $499. All those video lights are small and they'll fit right on top of the housing. So look on our website for sample photos and video taken with this setup. And if you have any questions about this, you can contact us at sales@bluewaterphotostore.com. And thanks a lot for watching our overview of the Olympus TG-4 housing and camera. Thanks.